Well, guys, at least Howie Roseman and his Eagles coaching staff, if anything, it's creative. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rouse? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel. The sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. What's up, guys? Real quick, if you are new to the channel and you enjoyed today's content, if I can ask you to do me a huge solid here, I would love to add you as a community member, but I need you to hit that subscribe button in order to do that. And to my OG subscribers, you already know what I'm going to ask you to do, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that like button. Let's let the algorithm know we're here, guys. So, hey guys, I scout. You guys know this. And I have a lot of records. I keep a ton of records. I got a lot of information on a lot of different guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Devon Allen has never crossed my path. Very, very creative. I have notes here for you. Don't worry, guys. I did dig up some information. I'm going to tell you right from the jump, I have not had an opportunity to watch the film, but I'll give you some insights into what I'm going to be looking at when I get to the film, just based upon the analytics and the underlying information about this young man. So to begin with, guys, don't go overboard with this. This is not like a premier move that the Eagles were planning. This is deep scouting. And I got a feeling this has a lot to do with the fact that we have 101 wide receiver coaches in the building. They went to this young man's pro day at Oregon. And guys, he set the track field on fire out there. He ran a 4.35 40. And the articles and the reporting there, and I remember this from like a week or so ago, scouts were talking. He was more than just on the Eagles' radar. We were not the only team that was interested here. With that said, let's not go too far, guys. This is a young man that has potential. This is a young man that they like at 27. Good size profile, 6 foot, 195-ish, 190, 200 poundish, somewhere in that area, guys. But let's be honest, man. He's a long shot, right? This is a guy that might make if he's really lucky, he makes the very back end of this roster, but more than likely, this is a young man that's destined for the practice squad. In my opinion, there's some talent here. I don't know where his route running is. We got to assess that. But in saying all that, if he gets up to speed and you have a situation where Quez has to miss a couple of games, and you got a guy like this on your practice squad, you got that big playability. The big playability will return there. Now I'm going to tell you this. If you ask me what are the underlying attributes from the analytics, he's a yak guy. He's a big-time speed yak guy. Vertical concepts over 20 yards in yak. Now, he doesn't really appear, if you went and searched from 2014 and you filtered by passes over 20 yards and you looked at the attempts, he's not going to be that high up on the list, guys, because when you filter by that, he only had 12 attempts on the season. That's probably because he only had, overall, 36 receptions, 638 yards, and 6 touchdowns. But of those 12 attempts, he caught 5 of them, right, which is over 40%. And he put 4 of those 5 catches in the end zone, guys. If you look at his yak per reception on concepts over 20 yards, it's 21.6. Man, when he got free, guys. He's fast. This young man has a gear that most guys don't have. And that's the thing, is it's always really hard to tell, right, because they use GPS metrics when they're actually measuring these guys now, and they look at things that we don't look at, right? We're normally judging the full 40 time, and that's just not the way the NFL really works. They like to look at guys that have released fast, so you're that 10-yard split, and then they like to look at that back 10-yard split, the back end of the 40-yard dash. And they want to see where guys fall inside of those kind of measurements. This young man has gears. He hits gears. That's what it seems like to me. So, 36 catches, 630 yards, 6 touchdowns, right? Where does he align? He's an outside receiver, guys. I'm going to take a guess at giving the size profile and the height. He's probably played a little bit on the boundary. He's probably played mostly, I would guess, as a flanker. This type of speed is normally something you want to operate in space. You want to give this young man an opportunity to shake somebody in space and make a play. And so I'm going to take a wild guess that the majority of those 296 snaps, they more than likely came what they would probably call on the right side. Mind you, they use these really generic labels when they're judging this stuff. When they say right side, they mean the flanker, the Z. But if they say left side, then they're talking about the boundary, the X. Although in reality, the boundary could be the left or the right. The flank could be the left or the right. It just depends on which hash mark you're on, essentially. So, outside of that, where does he really shine, right? I was trying to figure out the yak situation because when you look at this young man's yak, I'm just going to tell you right now, guys, he had 9.1 yards of yak per reception. That's ridiculously high. That's really, really high. It's a big number. That means if you get the ball in this kid's hands, he can make some things happen. He only had 638 yards receiving on that year in 2014. Of that 638 yards, guys, 328 of it was in yak. That's a lot of yardage, guys. It's over half. He'll run away from you. That's kind of the point here. I was kind of shocked. I thought a guy like this, you'd probably see a lot of vertical concepts. You'd probably see a lot of stuff behind the line of scrimmage. It's not really how it worked out, though, guys. I was a little shocked here. Behind the line of scrimmage, you only had 3 opportunities, 3 catches on 3 opportunities for 20 yards, and he had a yak per reception in that area of 9.7. I would probably think if he ends up on the Eagles and ever gets any type of significant playing time, and that's something I can't know right now, guys. My wild guess here is you're going to see a lot of tunnel screens, a lot of wide receiver bubble stuff with this guy, and then those vertical concepts. Outside of that, the area that he honestly did well in, guys, the area where I would say is the strength judging from the analytics, is kind of that intermediate receiving area between 10 and 19 yards. That's where he had his highest rating, so passer rating, so that's where quarterbacks played their best targeting him. And on the year, he was 12 of 19, guys. It's called 12 balls, 19 passing attempts, 2014 year, I should say. 234 yards and 2 touchdowns there. This is a speedster. This is a yak guy. This is a far depth guy. Don't think, these are long shots, guys. These are deep scouting things. Zach Pascal and him is not exactly like fortifying it too much, but they're taking it a stone, a little piece at a time. And I think what this does more than anything is, this puts dudes on notice. You better quit playing around, right? I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing holding Reagor on this roster currently is that contract. It's because he's a rookie and he's a first-round pick. The dead money is quite consequential if you cut him before the 4th year. That's the only reason why he's probably still here right now, guys. They'll try to trade him, but, outside of a ham sandwich, I don't know what you're getting for him right now, guys. I think that this Eagles front office would probably be willing to take almost anything and move on. But we'll have to see how this works. I do know that with Zach Pascal here, with this guy who's definitely a guy who can push you at the back end of the roster, probably a practice squad developmental piece more than likely, more than anything, there's going to be pressure on JJ. There's going to be pressure applied to Reagor. JJ's in far more of a threat to be cut right now. Reagor, more of a trade candidate if there's any interest out there at all. I look at this situation, and this is what I think to myself. You got Greg Ward Jr., and now you got this young man here. Greg Ward Jr., more of the nuanced, kind of underneath, dependable, possession-type receiver that can convert first downs. And you got this young man, Devon Allen, who's more of the vertical concept, big play, incredible speed. I still think we're going to the draft, guys. Make no mistake about it. I still think we are heading into the draft to address this situation in full. Before I jump off of here, I got one more thing to say to you guys, and that is this weekend, come on, guys, $2.99 for the defensive draft guide, 98 pages of detailed information given to you guys. You guys know that I put a lot of thought and effort into stuff like this. You know that I give you pertinent details, and I try to do the best I can to reserve judgment. I'm just trying to give factual basis in the reason why I'm perceiving things a certain way. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to get some insight, you want to know some of the underlying analytics, some of the things that which film says, and there's a consensus on some things about scouts and where some people may disagree about things, it's all included in that guide. There's things such as very useful graphs and charts and things like that. There is ranking systems in there where I'm using some visual aids to rank guys as the way that I see them and what they do exceptionally well. So, link in the description down below, guys. It's the 2022 offensive draft guide, and I was working on the defensive draft guide before this broke about an hour ago. So, it is what it is, guys. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all on the next video.